that way.
He just so happened to be going that way. Isn't that a coinky-dinky-do? A coinky-dinky-do. This motherfucker probably stopped the elevator too.
Oh my goodness.
He did. He did.
Really?
Fucking liar.
Oh, I'm a liar.
Yeah.
I got no reason to lie.
You got no reason? I caught you both red-handed.
Okay, Zatima fans, now, yeah, the beginning of episode 4, upon rewatch, I did laugh a few times, but when I watched it for the first time, what was it, Friday morning, I was less than impressed because it took 7 minutes to get through this scene. And you know these episodes are give or take maybe 20 something minutes. What was it? Episode 3 was like 27 minutes. Episode 4 was about 24 or 25 minutes. So that's about a third of the episode of just Zach being completely immature and unreasonable for 7 minutes. But I did see this one comment that made a lot of sense. Rosa Johnson. I agree that Zach should have believed Fatima. However, let's think about the last few days. Fatima bought Zach a side chick. She's not having sex with him because she said it's too much. Zach can't understand that because he's never had that kind of complaint before. So we ask her if, hey, am I the problem? He also asks her, well, who is he? She doesn't call him or road service for the flat tire, but has another man fix it. His mom took him through a repeat of the abandonment he felt when he was 6 years old, and he now meets Paul, who is clearly trying to move in on Fatima. This man had the nerve to say she was pretty. I'm not a man, but as a female, I would look at the chick like I got my eyes on you. Fatima then defends this man, and I'm not excusing Zach's behavior, but I understand it. And then somebody else mentioned, on top of that, Zach still has some resentment over Aaron snatching his girl from under him, calls for some insecurities when he meets Paul. Yep. And I agree. So, I mean, I understand Zach acting the way he did in the elevator. I just didn't really care for it because, number one, yes, very similar to how Fatima interacts with Deja. Number two, like Fatima in the Deja situation, Zach was able to sniff deception a mile away. Hey, this guy who seems nice and whatnot, he has an agenda. Number three, unfortunately, is the fact that neither Zach or Fatima, when they get to this like rage mode state, they are unable to listen to reason. Like it just bothered me so much that Zach wasn't able to look Fatima in the eye calmly for even a second, just to listen to what she had to say. Now, granted, yes, plenty of times, Zach has pleaded with Fatima to give him the benefit of the doubt, but she wouldn't do it. She will believe, Mary Sue and John from around the corner if they said Zach did something wrong, but would not believe Zach whatsoever. So Zach could have got a one-up on Fatima if he would have just gave her the benefit of the doubt, because looking at the circumstances, what do we know? All right. Fatima's shoeless, indicating that, oh, wow, okay, you were on your knees, huh? He saw Paul trying to help Fatima back up to her feet. But of course, we know that was due to the whole elevator fiasco. Like, it randomly came on and she couldn't keep balance, and she kind of fell into him, and, he was helping her back up. But then you also have to look at, well, I don't want to get too graphic here, but this is a BET Plus show. Given that Zach is a sex hound and he knows what Fatima's capable of, did Paul have the look on his face of a man who just got the, some head? No. Then on top of that, it's just one of those things where, like, R. Kelly, use your common sense, Zach. I know it looks like a very compromising position. The fact that, the first time you met Paul in the parking garage was kind of awkward. It's just one of those things where you would think Zach is better than what he's presenting himself to be in that elevator, and I get it, like the mom thing, and his emotions are high. He's still pissed off about what happened with Bryce recently, but it's just one of those things where I think Zach is better than this. Zach is better than this rabid dog he was shown to be on the elevator, because Now the next time, Deja tries to do something and Fatima starts acting like this, then Zach might, try to throw it in her face. But it's like, bro, you were doing the same crap on that elevator. I mean, now the whole video thing of Paul hemming him up against the wall, that's gone quote unquote viral for some reason. And I'm just sitting here like, well, what exactly is next? Now Zach is going to be even more pissed over the situation. But at the same time, this could have all been avoided if he would have just kept a level head. I think it was TK Kirkland or somebody I saw either on Vlad TV or another of these internet talk shows where they have special guests and they talk about certain things. Of course, the biggest one being Will Smith, Chris Rock, and he was saying how it's important to, even if somebody's wronged you or whatnot, if you need to take however much time, get the emotion out of it. Because if you react based off your emotions, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna fuck things up for the worst. You're gonna make it worse for yourself than what the other person did for you. Calm down, evaluate the situation, and then act accordingly. Because if you act out of emotion, you're gonna end up losing more than just like a simple fight or something. You might end up taking someone's life. You might end up doing something incredibly reckless where you end up losing your livelihood. And I think that after the amazing episode that was episode 2, Fatima's reassurance to Zach that she's going to let him know every day, every opportunity she gets, if need be, that she's there for him. I think that he should have at least believed her. Now, yeah, Fatima did defend Paul in the parking garage, but when you look at it from her perspective, Zach was a complete asshole. And yeah, I think it would have worked better if Zach would have been more cool about it. If he would have, kept a few things close to the chest, evaluate Paul from a distance, and then make his move okay, this dude ain't shit. He trying to move on my girl. Obviously, we know he's right. And it's just when Zach ran into Connie at the grocery store the night before, he didn't tell Fatima about that. He said it was just some guy from school or something. And, obviously, I don't think that Fatima would tell Zach about everything her and Paul talked about on the elevator. It's just one of those things where I really do feel like Zach could have handled it better. Yeah, there was some, I did chuckle when I looked back at the scene. There were moments where you could tell Crystal wanted to laugh, and hell, the way Zach was bouncing around and shit, he wanted to bust out laughing himself. But in terms of the story, I don't think this was a good look for Zach. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It's like I said in a live or something, like when Kanye's mom passed and, the mental health issues and whatnot. And every time he did something or said something wild, fans be like, oh yeah, well, it's because he lost his mom. But it's like, you can only use that excuse so many times before it's like, okay, this is just how this person is. With Zach, yeah, you could say, yeah, his mom and everything. Of course, that wound is very, very, very recent. Less than 12 hours ago, give or take. But he can't utilize that as an excuse for his constant behavior, his family issues interfering with his own relationship. So, yeah, let's talk about it in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.